Hi, this is Dr. LaNail Plummer. I am the CEO of Onyx Therapy Group. We are a mental health company based in Washington, D.C., but we have offices in Maryland and Pennsylvania as well. I am a therapist, but today I'm also going to talk to you about my profession as a professor. So I am a professor at Johns Hopkins University in Baltimore, Maryland, and I teach in the counseling program, in the School of Education and the Counseling Program. So I chose to be a professor because I really enjoy teaching. I love giving people information. I love seeing people when they get new information and how they respond. I love watching how people take new knowledge and new information and incorporate that in their lives. Because I've been a therapist for 15 years, it's been really important for me to give back to new and novice counselors so that they understand what to expect when they come into the counseling field as a mental health therapist. So I chose to be a professor because I love the work and I love how it makes me feel, and I love how it makes the other students feel. So a typical day as a professor, which is different than teaching at a elementary school or a high school, is that we generally have to teach about 3 to 4 classes a semester, which means that each class is about 2 hours long and we could teach it however we want. We don't necessarily have to teach all the classes on one day. We could teach one class one day and another class a different day, or we could teach 2 classes in a day and 2 classes in another day. We have a lot of flexibility. When we're not teaching, the expectation is that we're either doing research, writing articles, writing books, or that we're doing clinical work and working with clients or working with supervisees. So a typical day, there's no such thing as a typical day as a professor. It's all dependent on which days are your teaching days. So you're teaching some days and hours, and then other hours you're doing research and clinical work. The most exciting thing for me as a professor, again, is giving information to people and to learn also. So in order to be a good professor, I have to be a good researcher myself, in that I need to know what I'm talking about. I need to stay up on current events, the trends in the profession. I read a lot of articles, I read a lot of books, and I incorporate that knowledge, I synthesize it, and then I give that knowledge back out to my students. If you want to be a professor, one of the things that I recommend is definitely going to school and going and getting a degree getting a doctorate degree in a field of interest for you. So you can be a professor in any field of work, because all fields of work have higher levels of education and they need people to teach them. So when you teach at the university level, you have to have a doctorate. So you go and you get your undergraduate degree, and then you get your graduate degree, and then you get your doctorate degree, and then you can finally teach. So if some people want to be teachers, they want to work in the classroom with elementary students or high school students, which is perfectly fine. And then some of us want to work at the university level, which has its major benefits too, because we get all the same benefits as classroom teachers. We just don't work as often because we don't have to teach as many classes. So my favorite courses to get prepared for teaching was my teaching courses, and it was courses that looked at multiple intelligences, so the different ways that people learn. Some people learn by touching things, some people learn by talking, some people learn by listening, some people learn by reading, some people learn by doing, some people learn with musical background and mathematical thoughts. And puzzles, right? And so because of that, that was my favorite class, because I had a chance to explore all the different ways that people learn. If you're interested in that, one of the researchers is Gardner, and it's called the